Internet! So, as you may or may not be able to tell, based on my general essence as a human, I'm not a doctor, and neither is my mom, although she can do anything, because she's amazing, because she's my mom. That being said, despite what I like to think about myself, my word is not golden. Everything you're about to hear is based on personal experiences from the past, and if having ADHD has taught me anything, it's that everyone's brains work differently. So please make sure to always check in with your doctor. Also, always check in with the doctor, because he's really cool. Okay, but the word vomiting that is about to ensue should be helpful in some way to you, I hope. But I guess there's only one way to find out. Nailed it! Boom! Woo! So long! Then I had a couple of questions about medicine, if I took medicine, if I'm still on medicine, the decision to put me on medicine and stuff like that. So I do still take medicine for my ADHD on a daily basis, but I wasn't always on it, and we went through periods where we really tried to not have me on it as much as possible too.
When Jen was first diagnosed, we looked at different alternatives. She was only in first grade, so it wasn't necessarily, okay, let's just give her some kind of medicine, let's see.
Shoot her some drugs.
Let's see what other things we can do first. And it wasn't until she was in about fourth grade where the way she exemplified the ADHD symptoms was becoming more problematic from a social standpoint with her friends and her peers. And at that point, with the neurologist, we came up with medicine. Her medicine was always tweaked depending on different times. We tried different doses. Some of them made her very tired, and sometimes if she had the medicine on a day where there wasn't a lot going on, it changed her personality. It made her totally flat. So these are things that you have to go through to learn what works. So we knew, like on weekends, she really didn't need necessarily the medicine, or in the summer. And so you have to find the right medicine and the right dose for your child. So you need to work very, very closely with your care provider. And the other thing too, as Jen matured, and to those parents of hormonally charged teenagers, the different dosage of the medicine really got wacky at times then. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah,
so you really need to stay in tune with what's going on as your child goes through
if you choose to go the medicine route too.
And not every child is going to need it. Everyone is going to be different. We got to a really good point. Jen was always very actively involved in her medicine and talking about how she was feeling as a result of it, so that we could inform the doctor, so the doctor would make the right recommendations as to what we should be doing going forward. And she learned early on how to be able to describe what her body was feeling like, her mind was feeling like, based on the medicine.
When I was younger, it was like a take it when you have school, don't take it on the weekends. Only take it when your tutor's coming in the summer kind of thing. And now I take it every day, regardless of what's going on. For consistency for myself, because I like to have that consistent feeling of having a little bit more control over my thoughts and things like that. But I also have other underlying issues that I benefit from taking the medicine for my ADHD because it helps stabilize me for everything else that goes on in my brain, because I have anxiety and other things. And so I think medication is definitely something that's worked for me. I don't think that it's something that necessarily is needed for everyone.
One of the things too that I think now that, Jen has some significant dietary issues that were discovered later in life, and I think if we had discovered some of those things earlier, I think diet can play a lot. Diet isn't the cause or the root of it, but your diet can affect that old theory, like, oh, I'm giving my kids sugar and then they're going to a friend's house and the sugar makes you wired. Well, there's a lot to be said for that when it comes to diets and looking at what's in the ingredients in some of the foods. And I think that's made a huge difference. It's a timing and it's an expense thing when your children are younger to really be looking at those ingredients. But sometimes that may help before you have to go the medicine route.
I babysit for a family that has a son with ADHD, and I hadn't seen them in a while, and I saw them recently, and they told me they cut gluten and dairy out of his diet. And I had heard vaguely from other sources that could be an exasperator for ADHD, but didn't really process it until I realized that I don't eat gluten, dairy, or any fake sugars anymore. I had to cut them out of my diet because they really messed up my stomach. And then realizing that actually also, once I cut those out, it helped me realize a lot of other things. I'm sure that they played a part in my mental health.
Today, it's just so much more prevalent that people avoid things like gluten and high fructose corn syrup and dairy and things like that, or lactose or casein or any of those other funny proteins that have been known to affect how people feel from a physical standpoint. And if you're feeling crappy physically, you're going to feel crappy mentally.
Yeah, I think that's good medicine. I take it. You don't have to. It's the moral of that story. There's lots of other ways to cope and deal as well. And you can also use those tools while on medication. Wow, that was super funny, or interesting, or insightful, or wow, me and Mom, thank you for sharing that information. So I noticed that none of these Q&A sessions seem to have endpoints in when we're answering questions. So here's our endpoint. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please hit that like button if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button if you really liked it. The rest of this month is going to be a lot of Q&A videos as much as possible. So yay! Just a guided tour around this end slate too. We've got last video, next video, and the playlist with all the videos in it. Also all of my social media. Cute little Santa hats on it. And Elsa! So that's cool. Thank you for watching again. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Yes, this is the same for every video. Maybe I'll change it eventually.